Check, check, mic check. Hoping you guys are showing up, getting ready to take a look at some of the early warning signs of what causes roof leaks and how to be ahead of them. Give us just a minute while we get a mic check real quick. My name's Kirby Smith. All right. Cool, looks like we're coming in good. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Kirby Smith. I'm with Lightspeed Construction. We're a roofing business. We've got offices in Asheville, North Carolina, and in good old Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're broadcasting today from Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to call it today's timing and today's Facebook Live. We're going to call it the early warning signs of pending roofing problems, how to detect them, how to be ahead of your problems, and we're going to mix it up here at 6. So guys, with that said, Lightspeed Construction probably does 60% roof repairs and 40% re-roofs. We work on commercial roofs and we work on residential roofs as well. They're both a little bit different and unique. And so one of the mentions for detection for a commercial roof may not necessarily be the same thing that you can do to repair a residential roof. So I want to make sure that those two things are mentioned completely distinct. So when you start to talk about roofs that are having problems, there's a couple of telltale signs. And we're actually going to be speaking directly from Lightspeed Construction's website. So I'm going to have that pull over. I'm sorry, I'm going to go small left corner. But you know, as we start to talk about that, there's a couple, 3 or 4 common places that we see issues with the roof. Shingles gone, you got problems, right? Or sometimes, you know, maybe even after a storm, or if you haven't been paying attention to your roof as much as some, it's going to be a couple of different missing shingles, right? So that's thing number 1. Thing number 2, you always look around the walls, the chimneys, and any place that has a penetration in your roof. And that can be pipes in the roof, that can be satellite dishes. Those are all going to be a little bit vulnerable to have issues in your roof, right? And so what I mean by issues is you guys know what it looks like, or hopefully a lot of you guys don't. Looks like to come through your home, maybe after it's gotten through storming or raining, look up at your ceiling and you see a spot that's got wet or damp or discolored, maybe even a drip, drip, drip. 60% of the Lightspeed Construction repairs and work have to do with that. Somebody sees that issue and then they're wondering, how do we get that fixed? So again, here's a couple of mentions. Number 1 is going to be missing or impacted shingles for any reason. You look at your roof and you see shingles, or maybe even your shingles are laying in your yard, right? Number 2, you're going to be checking your penetrations. You know, if you look at the chimney and it kind of looks like there's some beat up metal, maybe like somebody's got messed up grill up there, something's missing and it's out of place, that can certainly be a roof leak issue, right? Same thing with your walls. You should be seeing step flashing. You can actually see the step flashing from the ground a lot of times. It's going to be right between your siding or right on the brick going up the wall. You can see that. Does it look right? Visual inspection from the ground can tell you everything you need to know a lot of times. Is there a lot of caulk? Is there a lot of gunk around it? Does it look like it's been neglected? Has it got issues? And that's easy to spot, right? So the third thing is that, you know, hey, your roof just might be messed up in general. Does it have wavy lines on the shingles? Do the shingles look like they're bowing or kind of, you know, heaving a little bit? That's going to be thing number 3, right? So those are the 3 mentions. Billy, I'm going to go ahead and have you pull this side to side while I'm mentioning. So go ahead and pull us side from the Lightspeed Construction website. Residential and commercial, you're going to be talking about 3 solutions when your roof's got leaks, right? Solution number 1, you're going to call your insurance company. Your insurance company is going to provide an adjuster, no cost, and they're going to come out and tell you whether or not maybe this roof has to be replaced or repaired or whatever. Number 2, retail repair. Usually if you're suspecting issues like maybe $1,000 or $2,000 or less, that's going to be a retail repair. New roof, sliding shingles. Let's get those shingles tacked back up, right? And number 3 is going to be a retail repair. You know, maybe you guys have been thinking about doing your roof or gutters for a long time. You just want to pay cash for it. It's an old roof, needs replaced. go ahead and start to consider how much money it needs to be, get your budget. I know there's a lot of different calculations on the web you can pull for them, or call Lightspeed Construction. We'll be glad to come out and give you guys a free estimate on what it might cost so you can begin to budget for that. With that said, let's take a look at a couple of these examples. I know Billy's got some old roofs pulled up from our website. I am not seeing these as well as I could, but I know we're going to be pulling to the first possible old roof page. Is that working okay, Billy?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So commercial roofs, in my opinion, are going to be flat roofs, right? You don't really see as much of those. So some of those techniques I'm talking about that you're going to be seeing on a shingle roof is not going to work as well on a flat roof, right? Because you can't really see it. It's not visible. A lot of times what folks are going to be doing, and I'm sorry, are we going to do that side by side, Billy, or is that the actual view? Okay, cool. You're just making that easy for me to see. So yeah, your flat roofs, your commercial roofs aren't going to be as easy to see. And unfortunately, a lot of times for owners, the way they detect a roof leak is by seeing it drip inside of their buildings and having problems with any of their inventory or desk or office or whatever. So that's unfortunate a lot of times. What we're going to do at Lightspeed Construction is we're going to provide very, very detailed analysis of those commercial roofs. We're going to have photos, we're going to have videos, we're going to have solutions that we propose. Sometimes those solutions can get expensive. We always try and start off with the thing that's going to last the longest and be the most effective solution for the longest. And as far as commercial roofs go, I'll mention that at the end because that's a little bit different animal. But here's a couple of examples of some old roofs. And you go to Lightspeed Construction. If you're having any questions about what your stuff looks like, you can contrast and compare. If you'll take a look, there's there's a magnifying glass top left. If you want to hit that, Billy, and just show folks where that's at, you can hit that magnifying glass top left on our website, top right, I guess. I'm reading it backwards. And when you hit that magnifying glass top, go back. So go to the magnifying glass and there's a search bar right on our website. We keep a very nice, effective content database, all the projects that we do on our website. So when you hire Lightspeed Construction, we make sure to have the information right there at your fingertips where you can see not only your project, but other projects that are similar. So thing one is I mentioned that you got a missing shingle. So just jump in there, hit the search button and type missing shingle if that's okay, Billy. Missing shingle. And what happens when a shingle begins to miss is that it could have been nailed a little bit improperly. It could have just had a nail pop out of it, or the glues in the shingles can actually separate. There's glues that actually hold shingles together. And when they begin to separate or go bad, the shingles can lift. And a lot of times they'll be lifting for many, many months or maybe even years before they actually blow off. And the next thing you know, you got a leak or you're seeing a shingle in your yard. So go ahead and hit the first story. Let's take a look and see if we can see a couple of good examples of some missing shingles here. Residential shingle or residential home in Oak Ridge missing shingles. Yeah, let's take a look. Can you scroll down and let's see what we got here? So yeah, guys, right here, you can see the place where the shingles used to be. If you want to click on that pin, Billy, let's see what if there's a recommended fix there or just a description. We've actually got a video on our website, video on this roof. Don't worry about touching the video just yet. Scroll on down, let's see if there's any more good examples, because this is going to be another telltale sign. A lot of times you can see this from the ground as well. And I guess this will be maybe thing number 4. You've got a shingle that you can see from the ground has a little bit of a shine or a sheen to it. It doesn't look like it's maybe the color. It's the color of the shingle mixed with the shingle. What that sheen actually is, that's the fiberglass, meaning that the tar is worn out. It's completely gone. The granules of the shingles are gone. Everything is gone except for the fiberglass mat. And that's what you're actually seeing in the picture above if you want to scroll back up. That picture shows a shingle that is worn out, and that one really, unfortunately, has got no other choice than to be replaced. So it's not just about a missing shingle. The missing shingle happened because the roof's worn out. And what I tell folks as I look at this picture right here is that we've got between 70 and 90% granular loss. That's going to be the granulars are gone, the tar's gone, the shingle's just paper. And so it's kind of like velvet. It's just going to be lifting and blowing away. The glues are no good. And that's a fairly obvious case. Most homeowners can see that. Let's jump back into the the database of stories there and see if we've got anything else that's kind of a compelling or maybe a little bit more nuanced case, Billy, because that one's just an old roof. And again, guys, we covered missing shingles. We covered what I just mentioned right now, where your roof has a little bit of a shine or a sheen to it. And we also talked about that heaving, and the other is going to be looking around your chimney to see if the metal around your chimneys or your walls, they look like they've been caulked on and gooped on, and they're just kind of funky, right? Can you hit the second one, please? Yeah, this is going to be show and tell, not just tell. So yeah, hey, guess what? This roof's got some problems. That's actually a roof we were replacing midsummer. A tree fell on, excuse me, not a tree, a chimney was blown off of this roof. The roof got completely blown, or the chimney got completely blown off. It wasn't structured correctly, damaged the roof. And unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately and unfortunately, the roof had to be completely replaced by one of the insurance companies here in town. And it was, you know, good that we could get a good roof on there for the homeowner, you know, but it was unfortunate that it couldn't be repaired. I don't know if you want to go back. This wasn't exactly what I was trying to mention here. Again, all this is available at Lightspeed Construction. If you're seeing anything that looks similar, hopefully you're not seeing that roof, which is partially torn off during a repair or replacement. That actually wasn't the roof after the damage. That was mid-construction. You're rolling with that third story there? Yeah, just keep them coming. We're just going to keep hitting talking points on missing shingles till we get to a couple of good pictures or something like that that really kind of hits the... Cool. So this is a roof that's older. We got an aerial measurement of this roof. Can you go down a little bit? So this is what we actually use a lot of times to measure the roofs. It's an aerial measuring software. Okay, so this is a skylight. Do we have any missing shingles here that we can mention? This is a project that we performed this summer. Super cool, folks. This was actually the original call, is that critters were getting in the side of the roof and that they were coming in the attic space. So that was the original mention. We showed this to the homeowner, along with probably 4 or 5 other areas of leak, just because the roof hadn't really been installed correctly. It wasn't really that old of a roof, maybe only 10 years old, but you know, they just chose to want to have a little bit more secure solution as opposed to try and band-aid the roof along. So we went ahead and replaced this. Let's see if we've got any more missing shingles. I think there might be a good chimney picture, because the chimney flashing here was a little gnarly. Oh, there's a roof leak right there. Actually, if you want to go back up, you can see I'm showing my laser pointer here. And a lot of times folks forget to look for roof leaks on the perimeter and the outside of their building. This is going to be called soffit. It's easier to see. Actually, it's just as easy to see on vinyl soffit as it is on plywood soffit. But when you see that staining, that's a lot of times a sign that a roof might be leaking. So that's why I'm pointing it out to my customer. I'm using the laser pointer to actually show exactly where that roof is leaking on the outside. That was one of several leaks that were occurring on this home. Go ahead and let's scroll through. Funny story about this customer. I don't think that I'm sharing this with you. There's a chimney that's got kind of a jacked up chimney flashing. If you want to get on the flashing and hover over that, you know where that meets the shingles. Yeah, so that's going to be a jacked up. So we got hired by this homeowner. They had been recommended someone replace their gutters and do gutter guards sometime before. And so indeed the gutters and the gutter guards were replaced, right? But a gutter job typically is going to take no more than a day, right? This gutter job for them drug on several weeks. And the customer actually mentioned that one day they were getting up, moving towards the bathroom or in their bedroom, and one of the gutter guys was there first thing in the morning, hadn't alerted them that they were going to be on site. It's just been several days of missing, and they were waiting on them to show up. Anyway, there they were right outside the window when they were just getting up in the morning. So that was a little bit unfortunate. Wasn't the best case scenario, but you know, when we do a gutter job, we really try and keep that tight, let our customers know, especially since we're going to be around the windows of our property. And Lightspeed Construction, we do roofs and we do gutters for commercial and residential. But back to this, guys. So this is going to be a chimney that's just gotten some impact because it's old. And I mean by impact is it's impacted by time. This is a worn out chimney flash, and you can see the metal's faded. You can see some stuff's been gunked on there. And the chimney itself, you can see some stuff is growing the chimney. The green stuff is never good. That's going to be, I guess I'm introducing some more issues that you could be looking for. When you got stuff growing and living in your gutters and living in your chimney, that's a sign you need a roof or gutter inspection. That's a pretty good example. Green stuff growing right there on the side of the chimney. But I guess I'm looking here at the flashing, and that's flashing that you can spot from the ground that is old and needs to be replaced, needs to be looked at and evaluated by a contractor. Flashing was never installed properly, and so the chimney had some problems along with the skylight that was right below it. That was one of the original calls as well. So there was critters in the attic space where the shingles are missing. The skylight was leaking, the chimney had leaked, the backside of the roof had leaked. If you want to scroll down just a little bit more, yeah, more stuff growing on the chimney, more pictures of rough flashing there. So I'm gonna get a quick pause right here, Billy. This is something that's real easy to spot from the ground as well. This is called a ridge vent. Most homeowners know what a ridge vent is. You don't necessarily even have to be in the market for a roof to know what a ridge vent is. Ridge vent goes over the peak of the roof and it allows air to escape, the hot air, superheated air to come out. So what this is a 20 to 25-year-old ridge vent. When I said that this newer shingle wasn't a good job, what the contractor actually did was take the old ridge vent off of the old roof, put the shingles down, and then put the old ridge vent back over the top. It's a real Knoxville special. Asheville does it too, though. So when you see a ridge vent like this, when you see a metal ridge vent, be aware that your roof can leak. You can probably even see some of the nails that are face nailed here. The ridge vent has nails that hold it in on either side to keep it from blowing away. And they just face nail those ridge vent nails in. A lot of times there's not even caulk protecting it. Very, very good opportunity for those ridge vents to leak. Those nails pull out over time as well, causing those ridge vents to blow off and have problems. We've really gotten away from the metal ridge vent. So if you have one of these, it's also a great sign that you might have pending damage that's about to occur to your roof, excuse me, guys. This is just a good case study right here, Billy, if you want to keep scrolling. Let's take a look further. So yeah, this is a pretty good example. If you want to go back up, you can see some nails actually poking through these shingles. Somebody's kind of come in and caulked or tarred over this maybe 10 years ago, but the nails again are poking up. They're about to leak, going down. Proposed shingle, owner liked the color, owner liked the shingle solution, and we rocked out with a GAF roof here. Owners were extremely happy with what we put on, and it looks awesome. That's a weatherwood color right there. Really killer looking roof. These are the after photos. I guess I didn't do a great job of grabbing the images of the skylight, or we breezed by them, but happy customers left us a really nice thank you, Lightspeed Construction. That's right there on our website. I guess you got there by what, searching missing shingle? There was some sort of missing shingle comment. Was that old roof? Okay. Well, indeed, that was a roof that wasn't that old, that had aged poorly because it hadn't been done properly. And so I guess I'm starting to hit a couple more high notes here. You got the metal ridge vent. I'm gonna work backwards, forwards. Got the metal ridge vent, always a bad sign that you might be having roof issues. You got stuff growing out of your chimney, stuff growing out of your gutters. You might be having some problems. Maybe it's just time for some maintenance there, right? You've got flash that looks like what you guys have just seen. You've got shingles that are missing. You got shingles that are wavy on the roof, or maybe even a sunken, sagging board, something like that. That's a good sign of a roof leak. And needless to say, as we talked about before, you can have roof leaks on the inside coming through the drywall, or you can have roof leaks on the perimeter of your roof as well through your soffit. And you're looking for those stains on your soffit as you look up and go around your home, right? So I want to talk a little bit about the 3 solutions to what happens if you have an early warning sign and you detect it and it's brought to your attention somehow or another. So insurance, number 1. You've got an insurance policy. Typically, your roof is covered under your insurance policy. Every insurer covers those things different ways. If you want to come back out to the main view, I guess, since I'm not really speaking to this conversation. Well, I was going to think about maybe, since I was talking about insurance, I was just going to touch on these real quick. You can just come back out to the main view. Just head on. You don't need is the computer screen in? Cool. Thank you. Yeah, you can drop it to the main view. Good deal. All right, you can go take that if you want. Here we are after hours answering the phone. Like I said, mixing it up at 6 guys at Lightspeed Construction. So insurance is one way to fund roof repair, right? So insurance comes out and pays for part or all of your roof. A lot of times you're going to know just by kind of collecting information from bids and contractors and whatnot, whether or not it's time to replace your roof. But the insurance company can kind of sort of bookend that with those opinions, right? Thing two, retail repair. That means that, you're going to have an issue, you're going to have a leak. And a lot of times those can be fixed with service calls. Lightspeed Construction doesn't charge to come out to anybody's property, but we do charge when we get there if we can fix it on site and bring that to our customers' attention. So retail repairs are going to include replacing ridge vents as well, like the metal ridge vents that you guys seen. They're also going to include replacing the flashing around the roofs like we just saw as well on that property. And that's also going to include, hey, valleys leak a lot of times. This is a valley, right, where the water's going to come down from both sides, very vulnerable portion of the roof where any crack in the shingle or any nail that's misplaced can leak and cause water to come in, right? So that's a retail repair. Retail replace is where you have chosen to fund the roof yourself. You know it's going to be time. The roof's got age to it. And, as an owner, you're just going to say, hey, look, I need to get the best price and the best value. Let's take a look at getting this done. And I need to get a contractor that I'm going to trust. And so those are the three ways to repair or solve these roofing issues. So with that said, that's residential, guys. I want to touch on commercial real quick. So in a commercial roofing situation, what we tell folks is that your commercial roof really needs to be inspected at least once a year, right? Unless it's still warranted, and even if it's warranted by the contractor should be out inspecting it once a year. And here's how I know that that's correct. Because the manufacturers won't even stand behind their long-term 20-year no-dollar limit style warranties unless that roof has been serviced once a year by a certified contractor with their material or with their company. So the manufacturers recommend it. We recommend it. Your commercial roof needs looked at because it's not as easy to see, for one thing. You don't know if you've got some of the lumps where roofs might be leaking and not necessarily showing up on the inside. You don't know if there's things that are going on that need to be addressed. The membrane might be separating or water might be backing up for ponding, or drains may not be leaking properly. And a lot of times that stuff can cause major damage, major flooding on the inside of properties. And I think you're a little bit more perilous in many instances because those roofs are so big, and any little impact to a commercial roof can cost thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. So inspect your commercial roof once a year. What you're going to be looking for there is you're going to be looking for cracking membrane. You're going to be looking for misinstall issues, where flashings weren't done right for HVAC or air conditioning curbs on the roof, or walls weren't flashed correctly. Issues. And really what you're going to want to see as an owner, unless you don't mind getting on your roof, is photos and videos and inspection reports, right? Lightspeed Construction's just launched our aftermarket roof warranty system. We call them service agreements, and that's going to be a once or twice a year visit on your commercial roof. Apartment complexes, HOAs, businesses, anybody like that would love to talk to you guys about service agreements. But really, when you guys are looking at your property, and I know it's after 6 now, so a lot of those guys are going to be out, but hopefully you guys can catch this video in the not too distant future on Face or YouTube or linked or wherever you're checking it out. When you're looking at a commercial roof that's having issues, your inspection report should really tell the story. You should get a nice timestamp. And with Lightspeed Construction, when we offer a service agreement, we come out, we inspect your roof, we grab photos of the inspection, we grab videos of the inspection, we bring those things to our customers' attention. With a service agreement, we actually warranty the roof. So if that commercial roof leaks, even shingle roofs, if that shingle commercial roof leaks, we're going to come out and we're going to fix it free of charge. So that's what's included in the service agreement. And as a general case, we'll go ahead and clean out your gutters. We'll make sure everything's good to go there as well. It's really about being proactive with your roofing system in 2021. There's a lot of perilous weather, and February seems to be one of those months in the last couple of years where we've had 500, 150-year storms that have definitely hammered this community, wash roads away, and cause roofs to leak. So with that said, guys, that's really all I've got to mention about early bird warning signs that your roof might be having issues, and you guys should be concerned and concerned enough to call a contractor, maybe Lightspeed Construction. It's litespeedconstruction.com. You can drop by there, grab our phone number, or you can just go ahead and schedule an appointment for us right from the website. Billy, is there any other things that we can mention? I really appreciate folks' attention this afternoon. Am I missing any good fill-ins, any stop gaps?
Subscribe.
Like, subscribe, comment, Facebookers, love you guys. Thank you so much for your attention, your audience. I know there's a lot of other things you guys could be paying attention to, like the streaker from last night's Super Bowl, watching that video, probably seen it 5 times, or checking on your Bitcoin prices. But man, we're Lightspeed Construction. We're just trying to help homeowners and business owners save money by being proactive about their roofs. Asheville, Knoxville, call us if we can help. Again, my name's Kirby Smith, and I'm with Lightspeed Construction. Thank you so much.